In this week's chapter of One Piece, Luffy and his friends are still stuck in the seducing woods, having to deal with a collection of crazy clones. Sanji is locked up in a tower and has no means of escaping, Pecoms is seemingly executed, and the Candy Man has come. The Minister of Candy, the oldest son of Big Mom, Perospero. So many little details in this week's chapter of One Piece, so little time, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the best elements of this week's chapter of One Piece, which was very surprising to say the least. The thing that affected me the most was the fact that Pecoms might have actually been killed in this week's episode. He's being executed by, of all people, Capone. That's right, Capone Beige. And what's really interesting about this character is that we are formally learned that in this week's chapter, he's actually married to that woman who looks a lot like Lola, who goes by the name of Chiffon, who is another one of the daughters of Big Mom, which leads me to believe that Chiffon is actually the mother of Lola, being the fact that they look absolutely identical to each other. They also have another kid, and it's their son, who looks a lot like Capone, and what's really funny is that he has, like, a 5 o'clock shadow. Like, he looks like it's been a couple of days since he shaved. He resembles his father a lot. It's absolutely hilarious. But despite the fact that Capone is definitely sort of a boisterous and laughing type of character, he has no problems in taking out one of his former comrades in Pecoms in this week's chapter, who is all chained up, gets shot, and falls over the side of a cliff into the ocean filled with all of these candy-eating sharks. The fact that he already has a devil fruit ability makes this really bad, and he's already in chains and he's been shot. Has this been the death of everyone's favorite well-dressed lion? There's a number of smaller moments in this chapter that are still pretty effective. We have this great scene with Sanji at the beginning, who is just super pissed off over the fact that he can't escape. And if he even tries to do that, his hands are gonna freaking explode, and he can't do that. He's a cook. You also have Luffy and their group, who at the end of the chapter we still see they're in these seducing woods, and Luffy's freaking out because there are clones of his friends all over the place, and he doesn't even really know what to do. I can't wait to see how they're going to get out of this sticky situation. And then, of course, there is Brook and Pedro, who are sneaking around town trying to get some information when they actually realize that Big Mom and their group have all the info on them. They have some really great intel, and they know where they're going to be coming from, and this really freaks them out. Not to mention, they even have posters of Pedro as well, although they're a little more crude than, say, looking at the actual wanted posters of the Straw Hat Pirates. One of the biggest things about this chapter, though, is that Caesar Clown actually confronts Big Mom, and you'd almost expect for him to have his gassy ass handed to him in this week's chapter because of how many times he's failed, the fact that Joker is gone, he doesn't have anybody who can sort of represent him anymore, and he's been forced to go in front of this extremely crazy lady who has big plans for gigantification. This is actually why she wanted Caesar Clown to do experiments on those children, because she wants all of her followers to be big and burly just like her. She still wants to continue her dream of having a family consisting of every single race on the planet so that she can have a big, boisterous, happy tea party with all of them. It's weird, it's strange, but honestly, because she's in such a good mood with the wedding getting ready to start, she actually allows Caesar Clown to continue his research, even providing him with a brand new candy lab. The problem is, he only has 2 weeks to get this done, and if he can't come up with anything, he's probably going to die. In fact, he's going to be turned into a candy man, thanks to the introduction of this brand new character who goes by the name of Perospero, who's the oldest son of Big Mom. And this guy just looks creepy as hell. I can't even really describe him. It looks like someone from Candyland, to say the least. He has this giant candy cane, which he's constantly licking. He even says that he has the lick fruit, which I think is just a mistranslation. I think it has something more to do with the fact that he's a candy man, and he can actually turn people into candy. And he even has Caesar Clown's heart as well, so Caesar Clown is definitely between a rock and a hard place. So what's the rundown on this week's chapter of One Piece? Big Mom's got a big-ass family. That's all I gotta say. It seems like every week we're being reintroduced or introduced to like a brand new member of the family, and they all look freaky as hell for the most part. I mean, Pudding is the most normal-looking person from her family. Now, they haven't formally revealed it yet, but it's been seen in the past. She probably has a third eyeball on her forehead, which is being covered up by her hair. So she's not escaping the weirdness of Big Mom's family, but still, like I said, seeing all these other members introduced is so strange. They're all just just so weird looking. I can't wait to learn a little bit more about this Perospero guy, the fact that he can turn people into candy. It's kind of like Majin Buu. I guess that means he can, like, turn people into candy and quite literally eat them. My theory is that everything in Candy Island and everything around there that's made out of candy was something that Perospero actually transformed. In fact, a lot of those things with faces and the candy that's alive might actually be people who are transformed into candy and are being forced to work for Big Mom. It's, in many ways, kind of similar to what we saw in the last arc of the series in Dressrosa, where you had someone who could transform people into toys. Now we have people who can get transformed into candy, but still, it's visually appealing. I have to say that every single backdrop in Whole Cake Island and all of the Candy Islands, it all looks really appealing, and it makes me really hungry. As for the fighting prowess of Perospero, well, we're just going to have to wait and see what he's truly capable of. How he actually transforms people into candy is still kind of unknown at the moment. If he simply just touches them, or he looks at them, or does something sort of weird to make that happen. I cannot wait to see that in action, and it's inevitable. We are going to see some Straw Hats turned into candy. I mean, it has to happen. It'll be hilarious. If it happens to Luffy, it'll be even better, because he might even be tempted to eat himself. Overall, this week's chapter of One Piece was pretty damned exciting, with a lot of funny moments and even some tense moments, with Pecoms being seemingly executed and thrown over the side of a cliff. It's weird, too, to see Capone actually have, like, a family, and his wife being Chiffon, who might be related to Lola. It's just strange. His very creepy-looking baby with the stubble as well, it's really, really funny. They're definitely going to make this one of the more comedic arcs, I think, from the One Piece series, mostly just because of the visuals. But outside of that, there's a lot of creepy things going on underneath the surface, which is making this a really interesting arc, to say the least. I also like that we're always going around to all of these different people and seeing what they're doing, because everything is just so visually appealing. That's what I'm really loving about this arc the most. That and the fact that Big Mom is just absolutely terrifying. That bitch is crazy. So this was a great chapter of One Piece in my humble opinion. I think it was a little wordy in some spots, and there were a few moments like we really didn't need to see all that much, and I would have liked a little bit more expansion on some of the other things that were going on. That being said, I loved all of the events of this chapter, I loved all the new characters, and I especially love the visuals. So I'm going to give this one right here a 4 out of 5. Check it out, One Piece fans. You might see something you like. But if any of you did read this week's chapter of One Piece, make sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comments section below. Do you think that Pecoms is actually dead? Do you think he might possibly return in the series? What do you think of the brand new character of Perospero? And what do you want to see from the rest of the Big Mom arc? Please tell me in the comments section below. You guys are kick-ass! Thank you for watching this review. I really appreciate it. Thank you again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!